Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hoosier Adventure YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and watch one of our videos. We've slowly building our subscribership and building our channel. We've had our first giveaway, and I encourage everyone. I have reached out to the winner via email, so if you put yourself in a drawing and you want to know if you won or not, please do me a favor and check your email. We're going to announce here on the channel March 31st video who that winner is, and hopefully by then we've made contact with the winner, and we can actually, they'll allow us to put their name out there and share it with everybody. It was fun and exciting, and hopefully you all had some fun with it. We will do another giveaway, another prize when we hit 100 subscribers. I think we're real close to 60, so 40 more subscribers, and we will be announcing sometime next week what that prize will be. And obviously the prizes get better and better as we go along, the more subscribers we got. So tonight we're going to talk about something that I've been asked several questions on, and it's weedless crappie jigs. So here in the vise is a crappie jig that I've been fishing. This is weedless, and I'm going to show you tonight how I tie one and then how I rig one. Now these are made local by a person local here, and he does 1/16 ounce and 1/32 ounce. But they have to be modified. So I'm going to kind of go through how I modify them, how I tune these, and then how I tie them, and then also how I rig them, okay? And hopefully you guys will learn a few things about it. So, and it's important that that you modify these so that you're not losing fish or crappie when you're out there fishing. I've put a ton of time into these. They do work. You're not going to get snagged hardly at all. So we sunk this year. We put a willow tree. We sunk a willow tree in the pond. And I probably made, I'm guessing, 25, 30 casts into that tree with this particular jig right here. And I never got hung once. And then we have some cattails on the side of our pond. And obviously, they're this time of year, they turn brown, they're dead, and they're just kind of laying there. Well, it's real easy to get snagged on those. And this jig never got snagged on them, obviously, because it's here in a vise. So they do work, but can you lose them? Yes, you can. Because of the modification in here, you can still hook these jigs up. It's just not as much as your typical everyday jigs. So they do work, and I'm going to kind of go through a handful of things here. So the first one is you're going to notice that the hook is actually above where the guard is, okay? And it's important that the hook point stays just above this, because as it goes through the water and it hits a branch here, it deflects this usually up, but can deflect down and allows the branch or the obstacle to go up and above. But if a crappie comes in from behind, like crappie do, and they're feeding, they're going to hit it from the back. This hook will set, okay? I've not had any issues in the past. I was out there today. Unfortunately, we had 50-mile-an-hour winds, so I was going to try to catch a crappie, and take a picture of the hook set with that crappie, but unfortunately with 50-mile-an-hour winds today, I wasn't too successful. So let's get into how I modify these. So the first thing that I do, I'm going to start with this because we're going to tie this one, is I have the capability here, and you want to do very little at a time. Okay, you want to keep the same profile on the weed guard. Okay, and basically what I mean by profile is the angle here, because that's what's going to help you deflect. And we're just going to take a little bit at a time. You don't want to get too carried away. Okay, because if you go too far down, okay, then you know the risk is that this will get caught up. And basically what I do is I just run my finger across here. And what I'm trying to do is actually hook my finger. So I'm going to just keep trimming a little bit more. Until I get there. Right there. See, I'm hooking my finger. Okay? But there's still enough deflection here that if as it's swimming through the water, it hits a branch, it's going to deflect it away from it. But it's still enough that if a crappie comes up behind it, it's going to hook. Okay. So these tie a little bit differently. So the next modification, in order to get it to tie, is this shank in here, this shank of lead, okay, where you normally would put your bait, has to come off, okay? So I'm going to come up here close to the head and not get my guards, and I'm just going to trim around this with my side cuts. So it looks just like this, okay? Now we're ready to put it in the vise. I start about the center and I wrap back towards the head first. Normally you start right at the head, but because of the weed guard, I start about midpoint and I wrap up to the head. And then I slowly come back across the top of it, down the shank, till I get to my hook point right there. Okay? Now I'm going to run this all the way back to the head. Again, I'm going to wrap this one with marabou. Again, I get most of, in fact, I get all my marabou from Woods and Water Outdoors with Patrick and his brother over there. Basically, I just want to come in here and I want to take a the piece off. About like this. Like I've always stated, when you're working with marabou, just dampen your fingers a little bit, kind of curl that back, and that's what we're looking for. When you start your wrap with these, you have to be pretty light on it. And then when you get to where you're at on your wrap, now I'm going to start cinching it down pretty good. Now I got that marabou on there, I'm going to take a little bit of locking glue. And I'm going to hit this thread down through here real good. And kind of lock that marabou and thread down on that shank. We're going to use a medium chenille. And again, we're going to come back to our center. It's about right there. We're going to strip just a little portion off. Hook that thread. Lightly come back until the chenille is tight against our tail, and then work it all the way back down the shank. This black and chartreuse is really a great spring color for your muddy waters and stuff. Okay. Then we're going to wrap our chenille in there. Just like that. Around our head. Lock that in. Pull that nice and tight. We're going to take our whip finishing tool and we're going to give it about 6 whips and really secure it in there. Snug it up real good. And there you have it, guys. There's your weedless crappie jig. And again, you can run your finger and you're going to hook right there. So when that crappie comes up here, this isn't even, there's enough space in here for a hook set. But it's also enough deflection and cover to keep you from getting hooked too many times. So that's how I tie those. Now, on the plastic. Kind of works the same way. Basically, we're going to trim this down, and I like to flatten those out. You can see how they're flattened out. And then I want to keep that same angle, or as close to it as I can. Okay. Keep flattening them out. And these are 1/32 ounce. And you'll notice that I've painted them using basically fingernail polish, paint, lacquer paint. And you can get away with that as long as you clean the lead with some alcohol. Yes, they'll chip, but they're easy to fix up. Usually by the time I've chipped them and stuff, it's time to replace the jig on them because they're normally wore out. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm going to modify it by cinching off this lead. As you know, I like to glue them on. There we go. Okay. This is ready for the vise now. And I touch up my paint after I get done. This is regular dental floss. I buy it at Walmart, you know, and then bring it home and I'll spool it on here. It just makes it easier for me to tie it. It's a personal preference. Again, we're going to start right here in the center and we're going to wrap towards the head. And then down the shank. Right there. And then we're going to wrap back up towards the head again. And one thing you do when you get to the head that I didn't show you before with your thread is you're going to wrap around that head right there. Okay? So hopefully you can see that okay. So there's a wrap right in here that secures both these ends right here. And then we're going to whip finish that a couple times around that. And then we want this bait to swim just like this, okay? So I'm going to start this hook right dead center of that jig. I'm going to push it back and then bring it back up and through. So now when it goes through the water, it goes through just like this. And tail's out there. Here's my hook set, my point. Okay. And we're ready for our glue now. I use a gel super glue to secure my jigs on there. You just pull it back a little bit. And then I'm just going to put a little dab right here. Maybe. Some glue out there. Here we go. And then we're just going to secure that right back up on there and push it on there tight. And just hold it for a few minutes. And there you go. Now you got yourself a weedless jig, crappie jig. Now I'll come back with, and by the way, if your super glue gets a little chunky and dried out on the end, you can use one of these sewing needles to open it back up. There it is. And that's your weedless crappie jig. I use several different paints. I've got this red, I've got chartreuse, I have a pink, and then a white. And I just take one of those alcohol wipes, you know, like your grandmother used to use before she gave herself an insulin shot. And I just wipe the head down real good. And then once the alcohol completely dries, then you can go in there. And then if I want to touch anything up on it, you know, I just take a really fine brush and I'll come in here and brush it. If I want to put some eyes on it, to be honest with you, I hardly ever put eyes on this stuff. I just don't think you need it. I think it's overkill. So I don't do it. But every now and then, you know, if you chip one, especially if you're fishing someplace where it's real rocky or whatever, you know, you can chip these up pretty good. It's a lot different than the powder paint, but it works really good, and it does give it just a little bit of color on the head. And you know, I fish them without paint on them too. I mean, you know, I don't know that the paint really makes a big difference, to be quite truthful and honest with you. I don't know. Some guys swear by it, some guys don't. I'm kind of either way, you know, but these are easy to set up. And you know, if you can find you a local guy, like I did, I found him on Facebook Marketplace, and he was selling 1/32 ounce and 1/16 ounce. Obviously, I use a lot more. I use a lot more of the 1/16 ounce than I do the 1/32 ounce for the style of fishing I do. But to be quite truthful and honest with you, they're pretty good quality. You're just going to have to modify a little bit. If you leave it like this and a crappie comes up behind and hits, it's going to hit, or it's going to feel this this guard, and you're not going to get the strikes, and you're going to lose more more fish than you're going to catch. But if you come in here and just make these adjustments and try to keep it on the same plane, it's the angle that allows it to you know, bounce off of objects and stuff. So if you keep that same angle as you're trimming, and just make sure that this hook point is just barely above these. Okay, so you're going to trim off, and you don't want to hog it all at one time. Hogging it all at one time, you usually end up running them because of, you know, they're actually pretty stiff for plastic. And I've even taken some of these out, say that many of them out, and just left this many, so that it's even lighter. You know, if you don't need that many. I don't know why my light shut off, but it did. There we go. Sorry. If you're fishing and, you know, just like lily pads or whatever, you don't need this many. You know, you can get away with only having a couple, because all you want it to do is just deflect the hook point away from an obstacle. So there you have it. Obviously, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. You know, I'll try to do my best to answer them. I do respond to all the comments. Oh, by the way, we now have a group page. I set up a group page to get even more of the subscribers and those that want to participate in the channel. If you've got fishing photos that you want to share with us, now you've got an avenue to do that. If you go on Facebook and look up Whozer, W-H-O-R-Z-E, H-O-Z-I-E-R, I think it is. Nope, W-H-O-Z-E-R. You'll find the group page and join the group page, and hopefully we'll be able to interact there as much as we do here. I try to again try to respond to all that. Also, I can't stress this enough, the winner has been notified by email, so please check your emails, guys. If you've got an email from me, I've given you my phone number to reach out to me so we can get you your jigs. Again, this is what you'll be getting, and all these I personally hand tied, and we're going to throw some of the stuff that we actually injected, some of these in there, so that you've got those to try to fish with and enjoy. But we want to get this to you. I will tell you the winner is from Tennessee. I can tell you that much. So if you're from Tennessee and you entered the contest, you need to check your email because you've been notified. So outside of that, guys, this is it tonight. I had a ton of questions from other folks about this weedless jig that I was fishing, and I thought, you know what, I'll put it on the channel and get your guys' input on it. And like I said, I've been fishing this one, and everybody knows me knows that I like that tail action. I was hoping to get a picture today, but Mother Nature had 50-mile-an-hour winds, and unfortunately this looked like it was water skiing on the pond. So anyway, I sure appreciate you guys taking some time out of your evening and spending it here with me. And again, if you're from Tennessee and you entered the contest, please check your email. Okay. Again, we'd like to be able to notify or kind of broadcast it in the next video, which will be March 31st. We'll put a video out, and hopefully we'll be able to announce the winner. I don't want to announce the winner unless I've actually talked to them and they said, yeah, you can use my name on the channel. I try to respect everybody. The drawing was totally fair, on the up and up, and we want to make sure that that person gets it. So thank you so much. By the way, I will be using remotes now on the boat. Hopefully that's going to solve the problem with losing some of our footage when we were fishing. This thing lets me know if a camera is turned off, so we can turn it right back on with a remote. So we're trying to do our best there. Hopefully we're going to get out on the water soon. The weather here in Indiana has just been so up one side and down the other. Like today it was 81 degrees, but we had 50, 55 mile an hour gusting winds. And literally by Monday, we're expecting some pretty nasty storms Sunday, and it's supposed to be in the high 70s. And by Monday morning, we're going to be in the upper 30s, low 40s. So it's crazy. But it's spring, and it is what it is. So hopefully we'll get out there soon and get some more fishing videos, a lot more better quality. I've got the new 25.1 update loaded on the graphs, and of course I'm anxious to get out there because I do a hard reset on my graphs after an update, and so I have to put in all my settings again. So I'm going to share that with everybody, the settings that I use, and hopefully it'll help a handful of you guys that use Lowrance graphs. Yeah, we'll have some fun. Till next time, guys, thanks for spending your evening with me, and I greatly appreciate it. If you don't mind, please give me a thumbs up, and if you like the video tonight, it really super helps the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, which I've noticed that, you know, we're getting a lot of people watching our videos, but you're not subscribers, please let me know what we can do to earn that, because we greatly appreciate that. We want you to be a subscriber to the channel. That algorithm helps the channel continue to grow. And, you know, we have a goal this year of 1,500 subscribers, and we're well on our way. Obviously, you know, we're trying to put out as much different content as we possibly can. But if there's something that you guys are interested in, like, you know, a handful of guys reached out to me about, you know, the weedless jigs. And so, you know, that's why I made a content about it. And again, we want our subscribers to be involved in the channel. So fishing with us, camping with us, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, we want you guys to be a part of it. So if it's something that you're interested in, shoot me an email. And let's get hooked up, do some fishing, camping, whatever the case may be. And let me know in the comments, guys, do you want to see more content about the jigs that I do, the jigs I tie, how I fish them, you know, whatever. Or, you know, camping, more cooking videos. We put a cooking video out with the grandkids. You know, let us know, because, again, the content we want to make sure is something that you all are enjoying. So good night, everybody. And again, I greatly appreciate you spending your evening. Remember, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when we put out a video. Good night, everybody.